Oh, hi! Welcome back to the What is Life podcast. I am here on the chill beanbag, and on the line we got Kevin Touch.
Okay. What's going on, everybody?
So, Kevin Touch is from the Anchor universe. Now, what is Anchor for those of you who don't know?
Anchor is a social platform or a podcasting platform, whatever you prefer, where you make a podcast and broadcast it to the world on 5 different platforms. iTunes, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Google Play, just to name a couple.
All automatically.
There you go, and for free.
Man, that's some real heat, Kevin Touch.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. That's how I found you.
Yeah. So I'll put a link in the description to download Anchor for sure. And what I do with Anchor is, if you don't know, audience, is I do kind of like a daily audio vlog about the grind of a YouTuber. Kind of what I just started doing on the vlog here, but in audio form. And I say different things because it's
Right.
two different recordings. Yeah. But this is the What is Life podcast. So, we are going to talk about what is life with Kevin Touch. So, Kevin Touch, I guess let's start with, how did you get started with wanting to do audio and Anchor and the creator life?
Yeah, that's a great question. I stumbled across audio after I graduated high school back in June 21, 2017, about almost a year ago now. And I remember, what am I going to do with my life? I even said that to myself. Next day, after getting dinner and celebrating a little bit with my family, I woke up, just an average Thursday, June 22, thinking nothing going to happen. And then my friend texted me this opinion app podcast, and I said to myself, that could be a outlet for me to go and explore. I downloaded the app. I fell in love with the app. I felt like this was the place where I could let my message to the world be heard. And I talked to a buddy and said, you want to do a podcast about college stuff, about college tuition and high school. We just graduated. I thought it'd be a great idea. And he said, yeah, sure. And I went over to his house, live recording. And that's actually, to be honest with you, that's my only live recording I've done so far. The first one. And it really got me a lot of experience to know I can really do this. I have that radio mentality. I have that voice.
Yeah.
Let's see where it goes from here. And we flash forward 8 days later, after getting the Opinion podcast set up and all, Anchor comes along. How did I discover Anchor? Just by chance. I hit the App Store. I said, I see the Anchor app. It's a podcasting platform. I'm thinking, this Opinion app's free. I'm already on iTunes.
Nice.
Like, what could be better, right? And then I said, I try it out. First 10 minutes in, this is ridiculous. I get no audience. But before I leave, I said this. I said to David Phillips, hey man, I feel like you're struggling too. He said, I'm struggling. I'm struggling too. I gave him a call enough support, and
Wow.
magic happened. Magic happened. And I'm not even joking. I quit the app. I'm out. I'm just watching TV now. I go for a run. I get back from the run. David Phillips published your call, and Anchor emailed me. I'm like, that's it right there. That's it. He published I got to get back in this app and thank him for that.
Oh.
And when he published it, I felt humbled and respected. This is it. This is what Anchor is meant to be. It's meant to be a peaceful, supportive group. And
Yeah.
I kept saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I didn't realize now, 9 months in, that this is what Anchor has now become for me. That moment like that doesn't happen or plan. It just happened naturally, organically. And when that happened, I felt rejuvenated. I started to go on a tear with the audio. And then we'll flash forward to the vacation. I took a vacation, no phone, nothing, cleared my mind, got back home, hit the ground running, took a week off again just to get back from the jet lag. And then 10 days later, August 31st, or 10 days from August 21, August 31, interview with Randy Tolson. He was getting some beef with the community.
Anchor community,
about
nice.
Stuff he was.
Dang.
Yeah, he was getting some beef, and I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, hey man, I don't know what's going on, but I just want to talk to you about this. You seem like you got something going on here. And he's like, thank you, the first person to not judge. I'm like, that's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a private convo, and he said, and he kept telling my story. And about 10 minutes in, I'm like, dude, I think this is interview material. I never had done an interview before on Anchor. Like, I actually hosted one. I've been recorded before on Anchor, an interview, and this is the old interview feature.
Yeah.
And I did it. It was 2.5 hours long at the end of the interview. And I'll admit, that was probably one of my best interviews as far as content. You said to me, you should make the Anchor Nation. I think it's the start of something great, the Anchor Nation.
So you have a station called the Anchor Nation.
Yes, I have a station called the Anchor Nation.
Nice.
For YouTube fans out there. And I said, okay, Anchor Nation, here we go. And we keep flash forwarding. I started off as a once-a-week show on a Thursday. I know Thursday for everybody. Just a quick side note: most movie and TV shows, if you ever noticed, they produce commercials on Thursdays. Thursday is the most viewed as far as the TV audience.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. It's the most viewed. That's why Hollywood and all that does on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. And I didn't come up with that. I didn't know that. I just felt like Thursday was a great day. And as I evolved, I didn't promote anything on Instagram. I didn't promote anything anywhere else. I just kept doing Anchor stuff until episode 5 or 4 came, and I started to promote a little bit on IG. And then episode 10 came, even more on IG. Then episode 15 came, I started to get even more with quotes on IG.
Wow.
Episode 17, end of the year, I felt like I was hitting complete fire strides. I felt like with the quotes was going up, the people I was getting, I was blessed. Mm-hmm. I even said that on my final show in 2017, season 1, I'm blessed. And when I said that, Randy contacted me and said, hey man, you want to do a post-interview? You've had a crazy year. And I really spewed my story a little bit more on that interview about how I started this all. And I felt humbled to know that I went from basically somebody on June 22nd at 9:03 a.m. to somebody who now did the interview on December 28th. I felt like I did something with my life. Now I was of course I was being productive off the app, but I felt like I'm in my element. Flash forward, we move into January, and things are going well. We have a press conference, actually right before. I'm going to do the Anchor Nation now 3 times a week. And that's when the heat came in. I'm thinking, 3 people a week, what could possibly go wrong? I'm thinking to myself, you don't like Monday? That's fine. You don't like Tuesday? Wednesday's great. Not a big fan of Tuesday, Wednesday? Monday's awesome. Not a Monday, Wednesday? Tuesday's great. And I think the message was there. I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable in my own skin. And then, last interview, episode 21, January 25th. Quinn Smith, the final interview of the Once a Week platform. Next week, or 10 days later, first interview of basically the new Anchor Nation, Anchor Nation 2. 3 interviews, and it felt great. Quotes were going fire, quotes were going well, and then stop, episode 24. We stopped it right there. I talked to Randy, he's like, hey man, I love what you're doing here. You should make some covers, album covers.
Oh.
I pondered the idea. I said to myself, you know what? This is it. I'm on that let's go mentality. Let's go. It's time to let's go. And I figured, okay, let's make album covers now. And I kept gathering data. And as I was gathering data, I realized episodes were building until I hit episode 35. And then I contacted Randy one day, and it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Hey man, I only got 9 covers done. What do you think I should do? He said, you got to take it into your hands. You got to be kept in touch, basically, and do what you got to do. We know you got that fire. Let's go for it. And that's what he motivated me to the next level. And I appreciate that because I turned into a workaholic that 2 days. It took me 2 days to finish them all, gather everything, and get everything out ready by Friday, which was 2 weeks ago, March 11th.
The grind.
That's right, the grind, when this airs.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, well, I did something right there. I did something that most people probably never thought of doing, just take it in their own hands. And I meant a lot. It really did to know that someone was looking out and saying, you have the power to do this.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's been doing well. We've been cranking out episodes once a week, or once a week. Well, the covers once for every episode, and then episodes 3 times a week. That's what I meant to say. And things have been just well. I've been out, when this airs, I'll be at 44 episodes, and things will really start to bud. And I like this. I think things are starting to bud like a flower. And I started as a little seed. I think we all started as little seeds.
Little
and then we go
seeds?
to that little water fit. Yeah, we all started. When you think about it, it's like a plant or a flower. We start as a little seed. We put it in the ground. We got to give it water. I went through that water phase for those first 2 weeks, and then vacation hit. It was my time just to soak all that water, soak all those nutrients. Then I started to hear a little sprout. Just a little sprout came in August. Then a bigger sprout came in September. Then a massive sprout came in December. And now I'm starting to bloom to where I'll be that 50-foot tree or whatever I grow into. And I think that's amazing how you can start off small with any power with social media, or any power with any app, or any power with audio, and grow into something like a massive sequoia tree. I mean, that's the great
sequoia
thing about
tree.
There you go. And that's the great thing about Anchor. It really gives you so much versatility and so much leeway to do what you want, do what you feel. And not just on Anchor, but in any social media. It gives you the power to just make things happen. I think if you can make things happen and do things the right way, and don't worry about what's going on the outside world, just keep focusing on you, the grind, as everyone likes to say, the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be in a good spot. And that's the first one. That's how I really started with Anchor and been doing my thing ever since that runs.
Oh wow. So you've always kind of like gravitated towards like creating and using your voice for good.
Absolutely.
Powers.
I think that's absolutely what I think we're all here to do, for sure. Just keep that positive message going. You know, my other stations, which I have many others. Well, I guess I could dive a little bit on the other ones. I have the Creators Council. I started that. It's a station all about just helping the community. And then Kevin Talks, the original OGKT, as I like to say. That station's all about connect, engage, get people on the show, help them get exposure, and really just document their journey too.
Nice.
In a more casual combo rather than more of an interview style series. We can make them fun too, the Anchor Nation interviews, but most of the time, I don't want to say they're full on serious, like you have to be serious. No, most of the time though, they're more professionally done. The quality is much more, let's say, it's not elusive. It's more fresh. It's more crisp and clean rather than elusive and uptight.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important part. Keeping your quality over quantity. I think that's important. That's one message I'll leave with here, and then we'll get to the next question, I'm sure. Just the fact that you can have the power to produce it. Yeah, the fact that you can worry about the quality you can control the quality. You think about it, you can't control the quantity. You can't control who listens to your stuff or watches your stuff. In the case of YouTube, you can't control that. But the one thing you can control is the quality you put out, though. You can control the quality you put out. Because at the end of the day, the quality you put out, it has to be 100. And then if you put out 100%, whether you get 1 or 1,000 listens, or 1 or 1,000 views, or 1 or 1,000 whatevers, or downloads, at the end of the day, you got somebody, and you work with them, and you tap into their audience, and you never know where that could lead to. That's why quality will always triumph over quantity. It's just a fact.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Quality over quantity, and then in that way, you'll always have like a. I mean, why would you want too much, content? Even in a way, even too much good content. You don't want to drown people out. But I mean, too much good content is always better than too much bad content. I'm not making too much sense here. I'm just. I have a point in my head to make, but I can't really make it.
Right.
Yeah. But I think the audience here is wondering, Kevin Touch, you're so cool, but what were your high school days like?
Oh, the KT high school days is that's a great one. We'll start with ninth grade. I came from intermediate school. I humbly graduated June 20th, 2013.
Okay.
And then I transitioned in September 5th, 2013 in high school, right around Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, I felt like I was popular, but I wasn't the most active popular, if that makes sense. I was a guy who everyone knew my name. Everyone knew who I was because it was just natural to know I had this vibrant personality. But I was also observant. I'll admit, I'm very observant, and I can be vibrant at the same time. It's weird, but it works like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would know my name. I was very calm. Calm most of the day. I was calm. I mean, in the class, though, I would participate, do my thing, of course, whatnot. But I was calm. I mean, I would talk to people one-on-one. Definitely, I would. But I'll say my freshman and sophomore year, I was definitely more hyped up. I'll admit, definitely more hyped. I felt like this is a new environment for me. I got more hyped as usual. I didn't get in trouble. I just get hyped. I mean, I would do things like high five teachers. I would do things like
oh boy, high five teachers.
High five students all over the place. Like I couldn't stop. Like I was just vibrant like that. But
too much heat.
Too much. In the class sometimes, same thing. Answer every question. I mean, there were times where I'm like, you got to stop answering these questions. When my teacher put me on restricted mode, that's fine. I'll take the first 2 minutes off, and then I'm coming back in with fire. Like that's how it was. Like I'm coming back with fire. You give me 2 minutes off. I'll just think of more answers. But that's how I was. I felt in tune with the world. Now transition more into the more serious years. And the junior and senior are a little different. As I got older, I started to say, well, I can still do some of the stuff, but I need to teach myself to be more observant in the classroom and still participate, but don't have extreme fire every time. I would just hold back and sandbag a little bit. But most of the time through the hallways, I focused on one-on-one conversations more. I tried to walk around with people and just talk about one-on-one conversations, discussing life, kind of like this, and guide the future. Because at the end of the day, you can do 100,000 things in the world, right? But at the end of the day, the people under you, the people who are 14, 13, 15, I always believe this one thing. If you're whatever age you are, think 5 years back. Whoever's 14, 15, let's say one day they make it big right away, and you have to wait. Well, who could be your future boss? Those people. Those people could be your future boss, and if you treat them with disrespect at any point during that lifetime span, as you meet them, that's a bad move. That is a bad move, because it'll come back around. It may not come back around directly right away, but give it a couple minutes. You treat someone bad, at the end of the day, that's still in someone's back. You have to treat everyone with respect. I especially treat the people who are younger with me. I try to spread wisdom on them. If I don't spread any wisdom on them, then I feel like I'm not doing my job of trying to help them grow.
That's true.
People older than me, I have tremendous respect for them too. Tremendous respect. Because those people, they have the same mentality, guaranteed. They probably look at me as somebody who, what if he makes it right away? What if I could be his future boss? It's the same mentality. You have to treat people with respect no matter what age they are. But definitely the first five ahead and the last 5 back. That's your age group you have to respect, especially because those are the people coming up. And I utilized that the last 2 years, especially not so much my freshman, sophomore, more my junior, and then last year especially. I knew it was my last year in high school, and I figured, gotta make these relationships now. Because, I mean, right now they may think I'm just talking crazy. But in 5 years, all the wisdom I departed on these people when I come back and visit the high school one day or something, if I'm allowed back, I'm sure I will. And they're going to be thankful. They're going to be like, wow, you did a lot for me, and we didn't even realize it. And I think that's the legacy I want to leave on those people, to know that although I may be your generation, I technically am a Generation Zer, and I could be also considered the youngest millennium. Although I'm in that generation, I'm in a great position personally, I think, because I can vibe with both parties. But at the end of the day, no matter what party you're in, there's still a person on the other end. You gotta treat them with respect, and I think that's why I like to connect with people, especially to part my wisdom on the youth, because I think one thing about the youth, they're cautiously aggressive. I still believe it to this day. This generation is the most cautiously aggressive generation I've seen. I personally think millennials, the same way. I feel like it's very close. But because of social media, I think they can be more cautiously aggressive than the millennials back in the 80s or 90s. Because of this, they spread their message. But they know when to spread their message, I feel. And they know when to make the right move, make the right points and decisions in life, which is something not many people have that ability to do. And I believe in everybody in this generation. I think the future is bright. But for high school wise, going back to the question, I'm just going to summarize. I was calm, observant, energetic, vibrant, and definitely just had a reputation to keep working hard and be kind to others. I think that's something I took upon myself, especially my last 2 years, just to try to impart as much wisdom as possible. Because when I was a freshman, the seniors, I learned from them. I mean, yes, I would interact with my group, but 90% of the time I wanted to talk to them.
Wow.
I wanted to hear what they were saying.
The elders.
Yeah, I wanted, and I don't want to ruin. You probably want to ask about my younger life. We'll save that for the next segment. But yeah, that's how I've always been. I've always wanted to interact with the elders. But we'll save that for the next question. Let's react.
Well, that's gonna be the next question, because the next question is, I'm sure the audience here is wondering, hey Kevin Touch, what were your middle school days like?
Oh boy, here we go. Middle school days. Let's start with 6th grade. Calm, quiet, shy. No joke. For the first half of 6th grade, I was the shy guy.
Huh.
Very calm, very quiet, calm, mild-mannered. I still have mild-mannered, but until it was one day in gym class, I made a basketball shot from about half court, and everyone's like, dude, you're Kobe Touch. And I started to I'm like, you're Kobe. I'm like, okay. And I started to roll with that, and I really kept. And that's the difference between middle school and high school. I kept rolling with that. I kept feeding into that. I thought that was cool. I thought that was the stuff. The only difference is, I still stayed humble, but I felt like back in the day, especially 6th and 7th grade, I kept buying into that way too much. And I felt like I was being somebody who I shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't. I would take things way too seriously in a sense where I had to win or it was over. Like for me, I mean, I need to win these things. And then, thankfully, 8th grade, things started to change with rec basketball. I joined there, and then, not just even rec, but just 8th grade, I think in general, I started to relax a little bit more. Get away from all that, I need to buy into this vibe. They would still say the stuff, but I wouldn't buy into it. And I started to get more confident going into probably May of 2013 when I graduated 8th grade, to know that May, the month before I graduated 8th grade, June I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
In May I really started to know that things were starting to settle down, and I would go into my summer of 13 hoping for the best and just being the best I can be and getting my element. For the long story short, I didn't really have any elders to look up to in middle school. I tried, but I felt like it just wasn't happening. I needed my younger days, even I looked up more. But I tried my best to just keep being humble, especially towards that last year. Mm-hmm. It was it was three different years for me. 6th grade was calm. Then I got a little bit like, all right, I had to buy into this stuff. 7th grade, I was all buying into it. 8th grade, a little bit of buying, and then after that, back to calm KT, observant, but still had that vibrant, observant energy, which is interesting. Yeah. That's my middle school. That was my middle school years. It was up and down, but I still handled it well. And those were some of my best years of my life, to be honest with you. Because I still felt though, despite all the vibing and whatnot, I still felt privileged and honored to be in a position where no one was going to bully me or no one was going to be like, yo, who's this guy? They respected me. And I think that respect and that love factor was there.
Mutual respect.
That's it.
Boom. That's how you do it. But you show respect first, and then they show it back.
That's it. If you respect others, they treat you with respect back. That's it.
Boom.
Beautiful.
Well, I mean, it's a very inspirational story for all those middle schoolers out there listening. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're probably wondering what's going on with even before then. No, that's what I'm thinking.
Whoa, not me, but I'm sure the viewers and listeners are thinking, Kevin Touch, you were such a cool middle schooler. What was elementary school like?
Here we go. This is where...
Here we go.
Oh man, this is
Bring
funny.
the heat.
This is gonna sound weird. Okay, first grade, I was 7 or 8, right? I couldn't hang out with my group. I mean, I was as rowdy as could be. I mean, I was like, what's wrong? I'm just gonna do whatever. I mean, I started hanging out with 12, 13-year-olds, 14, 15-year-olds. Nothing wrong with that, but I just couldn't hang. I felt like I was not too smart or arrogant. I just felt like I couldn't do it. I needed to hang out with the older crowd. I was meant to hang out with them for some odd reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was, like I said, that young millennial and whatnot deal. But I said to myself, these guys are speaking in different terms. I've never heard such people speak in these different terms before. Like, no cursing, but just, and I just feel, I felt good. For some reason, I still felt good hanging with these people. I felt like these people were, they just had some type of vibe, and they really empowered me.
Yeah.
To speak better. I felt like I couldn't hang out with my first grade buddies. Like,
Really?
well, I couldn't do it. I just, it's a weird feeling, but I couldn't do it. Second grade, third, I was like that all the way up to sixth grade, really. Until it started, I would just hang out with older people. I lost that in middle school because they got older.
Yeah.
But then once I got to high school, I connected with the juniors and seniors. And the story short is, second grade, I started to really, I started to calm down. I had a great teacher, and I just felt calm. I felt awesome. He had this behavior card system,
Yeah.
and I just I don't know. I just felt at peace with myself, knowing that these older people. I mean, right now, when I was thinking as a second, I was thinking this isn't going to work right. I mean, I may not get the rewards right now, but one thing it did teach me. And I'm going to say by the age of 12 or 13, I could start to speak.
Wow.
Where you wouldn't have to lead me in the conversation. So sometimes kids they'll talk and you have to lead them in the conversation.
Yeah.
By the age of 12, I don't have to do that anymore. I believe by 12, I just was like, I can go on rants and tangents, and I could go on forever. I could easily go on life frames at age 12. Like, that's not easy to do.
That's
and to me, that's to me. Yeah.
Superhuman.
It is, but I thought about it too.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things that I still have this to this day. Number one, I have those older kids. Number two, I never missed a day. I mean, because I never missed a day, I absorbed. I did the math on this. I believe I absorbed over 2,400 days of school.
What?
And I missed one day. That was it. And I observed so much information in those 2,400 days that almost every day, I don't think I ever had a bad day in school. I mean, excluding kindergarten, because we had afternoon kindergarten. I was only there for 3 hours. Regular full-time school,
Yeah.
I don't think there was a day where I felt like this was awful. Other than the one day I missed, of course. But other than that one day, I don't believe I felt the day where I was like, nah, this isn't going to work. I had something to look forward to. Whether it be playing, I didn't have a phone. I didn't grow up with a phone until late 2015. I really didn't get my first real phone that I can download apps until 2015.
Hey,
There you go.
Junior year or what? I got mine junior year.
There you go, me too. And I think
That helped. It helped kind of. It was interesting.
I mean, I feel like one thing I did learn though in those amount of days of school, and I think this goes for a lot of people who are in school right now, is not only to stay in school but enjoy every day, because it flew by. I can still remember playing chess in second grade. I mean, that's crazy.
Ooh, it flew by.
I can still remember that far. I still remember getting a citizenship report on June 7th, 2007. I still remember these days. These days will never forget my mind. And I remember all these days because I enjoy every day. I didn't look at school as some school kids look at it as a prison or a locked up penitentiary. I don't look at it as like that. I look at it as like this is an opportunity for
It's a flow.
enjoyment.
It's just part of the day.
It's part of the day enjoyment, and I had something to look forward to. I think in the elementary days, especially 4th and 5th grade, I would hang out with these kids who were older than me, and I felt okay with it. I felt like I could learn more than I did from a 10-year-old. I felt like I could learn with people who were 16, 17. And now all that knowledge, I mean, I don't care if they were cursing, I just blocked it out. All the knowledge and all the vocabulary I picked up from them, it's like street talk. I picked up all that stuff and it's departed into my brain. And now when I'm older, when I'm 18, 19, 20, whatever, hopefully one of these 13-year-olds come up to me and say, I want to hang out with you. Maybe I can, and that's the whole point. Also, like with that, I can depart wisdom into them to know that the future is safe. Because someone did that for me at age 13 and I was 7, or at age 10 and they were 18 or 17.
Full circle.
I can do the same thing now to them, and they won't even have to worry about, oh, what's my future going to look like? It's a brilliant thing. I think I respect so many kids out here these days because they're growing up in an age where I'm pretty sure they got phones at elementary school.
Yeah.
Middle
true.
school. It's like that's crazy.
That's
I didn't get mine till junior year. Like my first real phone where I could maneuver these things.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that many of these kids, they just don't have random conversations anymore. And that's how I learned. I think I didn't have a phone. I had to communicate those early years through voice, because without that, I don't think I'd be the same person I am today. I really don't. I think I'd be one of those people you have to lead me in conversation. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't like that. I
True.
feel like it doesn't put me in control. It really.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. And when someone I have to meet like that has that problem, I don't like to lead them in the conversation either. It feels awkward. Because you don't want to sound that too smart mentality, and you don't want to pressure them in any situation. But at the same time, it is what it is.
Kevin Touch, I'm sure the audience is wondering.
Yeah.
Man, Kevin Touch, you must have had a Nokia 3310 too, right?
Was that again?
You must have had a Nokia 3310.
No, I didn't have any.
Oh.
Man, I didn't have any phone until 20. I had an iPhone 4 was the first ever phone, but I couldn't work it with any apps or I couldn't download.
Oh.
I can only call people. And now let's talk about that period.
Yeah.
In the 2013 to 2015. I got my real phone freshman year, iPhone 4, and I couldn't download any. Anchor wasn't even around. 2013, but what I did was I tried to get as many contacts, not my age group. I tried to get as many people like adults. I mean, I met rec players. I mean, another thing, rec people taught me so much. Let me tell you right now. I mean, yes, I've won a lot of championships. Yes, I've won a lot of games. But the life lessons I've learned from people who were even 20, when I joined, people were 18, 19, 25, 23.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking this is a safe haven for me.
Yeah.
These guys are 10 years older. I mean, so 18, 19, you can hear a lot more. But when they're 10 years older, you know how much knowledge they can depart on me? That's what I looked at. It's like they're departing so much knowledge of life experience. I felt like it was just a miracle. And I felt great. And I think the power of that phone, it may have not had any apps or anything, taught me to know that things can happen. And when things happen like that, you cherish those moments to know it's not a one-time deal. This is real.
This is real.
This is the real deal. This is the real deal. And I used it as the real deal. And I made most of what I had, used my resources well. One thing I'm known for, I'm sure you know an Anchor, is I like to use all my resources.
Yeah.
I don't like to hold back. If you give me something, I want to experiment and test it until it's either done or we have to get a new update. That's it. Push the limits. If you don't do it, it just won't work. And I think it's key to keep making it happen like that, because you just never know who you'll meet in this world, man. Let me tell you right now.
Like Kevin Touch.
Thank you.
Boom.
And I think that means a lot. And we'll talk about that at the end of the show, how I met you, how you grew. I've got some thoughts on you too. You're definitely changed yourself. I know it's about me, but you know me, I'm always a person who likes to give the other guy attention.
That's true. That's true.
Wait about me.
Well,
what's the next question the audience wants to know about it?
Well, I mean, Kevin Touch, I don't have any more questions, but I'm sure that the audience was wondering, Kevin Touch, you seem like your elementary, middle school, and high school days were really good, but how were your baby days?
Oh, jeez. My baby days, oh my gosh. Alright, I can recollect as much as I can. Alright, I'll start off with age 3. Alright, let's go with age 3. I picked up my first lawnmower. I mean, if that wasn't a sign, I'm not even joking, like my first toy lawnmower, and then by age 5 and 6, I started mowing things, like actually mowing lawns. and if that wasn't a sign, for things to come, I don't know what else to tell you. That was a sign that I wanted to get and do something. I wanted to make most of my time. I didn't want to just sit around all day and be lazy, man. I wanted to make things happen, even at a young age, to where I ought to be productive. I would always go outside. I didn't care. I think I joked to myself. I feel like I got these calf muscles because I just kept running around when I was young. I never stopped. Like my energy was useless. Useful to where I would have zero tolerance for stopping. You would have to get me to 9:30 dark, and I have to go in, forced to go in. I would go out there for 12 hours, just run around. Now, as I got older, I have to be more strategic, but I still try. When I get a chance, I'll ride a bike around for 3-4 hours. Just ride a bike all day.
That seems cool.
Oh yeah, man, I love to exercise, and I think my baby days were just all about exercising and keeping my health in order. Because when you get older, you lose stamina. I'm trying not to lose stamina. I don't want to lose stamina. I want to be fit. I want to be like this for next 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you gotta be healthy. You only get your health once, and
I mean, it's all you have, your health. I mean, at the end of the day, my workout buddy tells me this: people can take everything away from you except your gains.
That's it, man. You can't take those gains. Those are huge.
Can't take those gains. Can't take them gains.
I think the key with the gains is that when you start making gains, you really look at this as a blessing. Gains are important, and one thing you don't want to do with the gains, though, this is important too.
Okay.
You don't want to get arrogant about it. You want to be humble about those gains because you can lose those gains in a second.
That's true.
It's reputation. I wrote a book. It's not published or anything.
Ooh.
But I wrote a book. Yeah, I got to send this to you.
Fancy.
I wrote it's kind of more of a manuscript of life. I wrote a book called The Midwest Mentality, and I wrote this senior year. I'll tell you how this idea sparked. Just sitting in a study hall one day, and I never thought in a million years I'd get a study hall. It just happened that way. I didn't ask for it. You know me, I don't like taking breaks. It's not like I would ask for one, but
yeah,
the way the schedule worked, I had no choice. It was either that or get a double, or like a double free period. I'm like, no, I don't want a double free period. Give me one study hall rather than 2 free. And I said to myself, I got to do something productive here. Mm-hmm. I can do all my homework. I mean, the first 2 months I had a lot of homework, so I did all that. But then towards the end of the quarter, I started to think about what else could I do as an option. Well, writing. I'm not the greatest writer as far as like a children's book or fiction. I can't write fiction for my life. I mean, I can try, but it has to be a real world scenario or real world advice. And I said to myself, what about this Midwest mentality? And I'm like, where did I come up with that from? And I'm like, okay, I came up with it. And the premise of that is there's 2 things that will get you to the third thing. Number 1, work hard. Number 2, be kind to others. And number 3, it's not guaranteed. Your reputation may or will follow. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is you can work hard, it's great. But if you're not kind to others, that reputation will not be kind. You can be kind, but if you're not working hard, you'll have that reputation of kind guy, not so hard working. You have to do those first 2 things. That's the 2 premises of life, really. Mm-hmm. If you think about, not many people in the world have both. If If you have one,
Mm-hmm.
you're special. If you have two, you're legendary. If you have all three, you're a blessing in the sky. Like, that's what I believe. If you can master all, because the third thing, reputation, do those first two things well, doesn't mean the third one's guaranteed a reputation. You have to maintain that.
Yeah, it's
Because
true.
if you think of it, it all comes full circle. You make out one mistake, you slip up one time, it's gone, just like that.
I
Snap right there.
Yeah, I put hard work into everything. Like, if I'm trying to, kick back a little bit and have some fun with some friends, I work hard at having fun. It's always a work hard.
And that's it. I think working hard, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be hard work at all. Working hard should not be hard work. Working hard should be a fun and enjoyable activity. That's my belief. If you want to work hard, then that's correct. If you have to work hard on something, that's correct. But if you really want to work hard, have fun with it. Don't worry about being serious about the hard work. Of course, be serious about putting in the work.
Yeah.
But if you can have fun along the way doing it and being kind to others while doing it, you're in a league of your own. That's my belief. And your reputation will be amazing.
True. Well, I mean, I really vibe with that, but it is getting towards the end here, so time flew by.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have one more question.
Yes, I have one more question.
I mean, not really a question, but like, you want to talk about something? The story.
Yes, I want to talk about you.
Ooh.
How we met and how I've seen your improvement from day one. I met you on the the recent tab. I know it says here's something new, but it's the recent tab. I'm still going with the recent tab. I met you on the recent tab on Anchor. I said, there's this guy with a shopping cart, and he's got like this massive shopping cart, and it's just like a little guy. And I said to myself, you still had that picture, and I said to myself, okay, well we got some type of clown here in my head. I'm like, this guy might be a clown. He might be from off the street. I don't know. I had these weird things going in my mind. I'm like, okay, maybe. But I didn't. That's the only generalization I made. Maybe he's a YouTuber. I just thought in the back of my mind, you didn't have MRI's YouTuber. You just had MRI's.
Yeah.
Emre, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, let's try this guy out. I gave you a call. And I think it might have been during that contest week. And we just connected. And I was like, I can vibe with this guy. He seems to have an interesting story. And lo and behold, 3 months later, you started to hit it hardcore again in January after YouTube changed your monetization. And he came to me, and I said to myself, he came to me. Well, it almost reminded me of David Phillips. He came to me too. Mm-hmm. And I said, all right, let me help you out. And I'll be honest with you, man, from back then to now, you've grown immensely. I mean, you hit 1,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to say, to be honest with you, if I have to call it right now, you're probably one of the top 20 stations on Anchor. I'm being dead serious.
Really?
Like, I really believe that since you've been consistent, it will reward consistency. You've been there. Mm-hmm. You're on the council with me. You're making great ideas. You've reached out to Anchor over 7 times, with my knowledge.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of things with the grind. Your hustle's been incredible. I don't know what else to say other than you've just improved. And top it all off, we'll know in April what you're for real about when you get my show, the Anchor Nation.
Yeah.
Like you're going to come on there, and you're going to be a pioneer for the YouTuber or the youth group. I'm going to say the youth movement. I think you'll be a pioneer to know that you'll be the youngest guy on the show, or one of the youngest I've had, and you handle all those answers. I threw at you like a pro. When we did a 40-minute episode, I may have had to lead you just one time at the end when you got stumped on one question, but other than that, you were pretty fire with all the answers, and I respect that. And you put the heat out there. And I think your growth and your improvement is an inspiration, not just to me, but to anybody out there. And I applaud you for having me on the show tonight. And anybody out there listening to YouTube will subscribe to MRI's YouTube station, or channel, excuse me. Because this man, he puts in the grind. You'll see his grind. I mean, he was doing a presentation yesterday for one of his teachers about his first YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Not only is it hilarious stuff, it's definitely a listen, or definitely check his peek his IG stories. But just really what he's doing out here in the world, it needs to be applauded. Because you have an interesting, I don't want to ruin too much, but you have an interesting story about how you came from another area and you moved here, and you actually can't do certain things because of restrictions, but yet you work around it. and still persevere despite those restrictions. And that's a massive round of applause for you, my man. I appreciate what you're doing out here.
Thanks, Kevin. And it's only just getting started. The heat's just starting. That's the fun part. So much more to do.
When it gets started, it starts rolling. That's it.
The ball starts rolling. I actually have a basketball in my hand right now, so it makes sense.
There you go. It all comes full circle every time.
Boom.
Every time.
Well, that's that. Really enjoyed talking about the life of KT here on the What Is Life podcast, brought to you by Emirias. I think I peaked my mic there for a little bit. Oopsie daisy. But yeah, Kevin Touch, you wanna have any last words? A little shameless plug.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone listening on YouTube, Emirias subscribers. I appreciate you listening. Thank you to everybody out here at Anchorland for giving your undivided attention, not only to myself, but to Emirias, the YouTuber. And definitely follow Instagram, Anchor Nation. Follow the Anchor Nation on Anchor if you join. And if you are a subscriber, thank you once again. God bless, and I'm part-time Italian, so grazie. and Kokun Cup for all you out there listening.
You want to do the YouTube outro with me?
Let's go for it.
We basically well, you can't really fall off screen because you're not on a screen, but pretty much we're like we start talking, then so we're talking and we suddenly run out of words, and then we're like
What happened? What that
okay.
What? What?
Bye.